and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about something I'm pretty excited about: Greek mythology. That's right, we're talking about the top 10 scary ancient Greek stories. I'm pumped for this one. Before we get into the video, I just want to remind you guys that at the end of the video we are starting to read out comments, so if you want your comment to be featured, then make sure you leave us one at the end of each video. Okay, ancient Greek stories, what you got for me? Coming in at number 10, we have the legend of Medusa. The later version of the Medusa tale is a scary tale of jealousy. Medusa was originally said to be a beauty who made men crazy. Poseidon allegedly raped her in Athena's temple, who in turn punished Medusa by transforming her beautiful hair into serpents. She made her face horrifying to look at. She now had red eyes and her milky skin was replaced with green scales. Other versions of this story say that Medusa fell in love with Poseidon and Athena was jealous. Either way, Medusa became a Gorgon, a monster who turned people to stone by looking at them. She was banished to Sarpedon Island, but before that she roamed Africa, dropping baby snakes from her hair. This apparently is why Africa has so many snakes. Medusa was later beheaded by Perseus, and her head was returned to Athena, who used it on her shield as a weapon. Poor Medusa. Coming in at number 9, we have the stories of Scylla and Charybdis, the sea monsters. This pair of sea monsters were said to live in the Strait of Messina between Italy and Sicily. Each monster lived on opposite sides of one another in the narrow body of water, and sailors who wanted to pass between them had to choose which monster they would rather be nearer, which they thought was the least dangerous. Scylla was said to be a dragon with dog heads sprouting from her body, and Charybdis was said to be a sucking whirlpool monster. The latter would suck ships down into the water, and the former would eat sailors off the decks of the ships. In the great tale, the Odyssey, Odysseus is blighted by both monster. There is an idiom between Scylla and Charybdis, which is like being between a rock and a hard place, between two dangerous situations. There is still a whirlpool in this area today, leading many to believe the legends of the killer sea monsters are real. Coming into number 8, we have the justice of the Harpies. Stories of Harpies are truly terrifying. Harpies are from Hades' domain in hell and work for Erinyes and Furies, the goddesses of vengeance and retribution. I love a good goddess of vengeance, honestly. Harpies are winged females, sometimes described as beautiful but always described as taunting. They abduct people and carry out torture as a form of evil justice. They're sometimes known as winged hounds of Zeus, and they're often held responsible for the sudden disappearances of people. In fact, the word harpy means snatcher. Stories of harpies live on through the ages, and in Dante's Inferno, they infest the 7th circle of hell. Coming into number 7, we have the story of the Labyrinth and the Minotaur. This is kind of like the ancient Greek Hunger Games. King Minos, the ruler of Crete, became angry and bitter at the murder of his son. Androgeus, his son, was murdered in Athens. Now, because of the death of his son, King Minos waged war on the Athenians, winning, but that wasn't enough for him. Each year he taunted the Athenians by forcing them to send 7 young men into the labyrinth, where they inevitably were gored by the fearsome Minotaur, a half-man, half-bull, and an abominable creature that devours human flesh and wields an axe. The Minotaur came from forced sex between Minos' wife and a bull. He then used the Minotaur to do his bidding. In the end, love between Theseus and Minos' daughter Ardine best the monster. Coming into number 6, we have the tales of the Empusa. Watch out, ladies, watch out, lads, the Empusa is coming for you. The Empusa joins the other monsters on our list, and she's a classic honey trap killer. She's a shapeshifter who loves killing lonely travelers, namely lonely traveling young men. The stories of the Empusa are ghostly tales to scare men who dare adventure solo. A demigod, the Empusa would take the form of a beautiful woman who lures men to her, a bit like a siren. She would seduce young men, and when they were asleep, she would transform into her true self, a one-legged beast with sharp teeth, flaming hair, and bat wings. She would then tear into the men, eating their skin and drinking their blood. Terrifying, but I don't know, I kind of feel you, sister. Coming into number 5, we have the Hydra. The Hydra was said to be a deadly water monster, a kind of serpent reptile with kind of super deadly venom. Legend has it the creature's venom was so poisonous that even its breath could kill a man. The creature was so loathsome and was practically unstoppable, as it had the ability to regrow any of its limbs. It was said that every time its head was cut, two would grow in its place. The Hydra was said to live in a lair in the Lake of Lerna, said to be the entrance to the underworld. Now Hercules encounters the Hydra as part of his 12 labors. Eventually, the demigod bests the Hydra by burning its head stumps before it gets a chance to regenerate. Lovely. Coming into number 4, we have the story of Pandora's Box. The legend of Pandora's Box is a terrifying morality lesson. The legend of Pandora's Box is tied up with the legend of Prometheus, but we will get to that horrible story later. What you need to know for now is that Zeus wanted to punish humans for accepting the gift of fire. To punish man, Zeus created a beautiful, kind, and generous woman called Pandora. Pandora was brought to Earth and given as a wife to Prometheus' brother, Epimetheus. Prometheus warned his brother, but he was way too taken with Pandora's beauty. As a wedding present, Zeus gave Pandora a box, but he warned her to never open it. For all her kindness and caring, Zeus had made Pandora to be curious. One day her curiosity got the better of her and she opened the box despite Zeus's warning. Out of the box came all of human suffering: greed, hatred, pain, heartbreak, disease, poverty, hunger, war, poison, and death. On seeing all of life's miseries escape the box before her eyes, Pandora shut the lid. Unfortunately, the last thing remaining in the box was hope, which was now trapped. These days, the legend of Pandora lives on, and the term Pandora's Box refers to something best left untouched. Coming into number 3, we have the story of Typhon. Who's Typhon? Oh, only the father of all monsters. Typhon was said to have been birthed from the earth and the depths of hell. He was said to be one of the most ferocious creatures to ever exist. He was reportedly as tall as the stars in the sky. The bottom half of his body was said to be hissing viper tails. He also had snakes for shoulders, dragons for fingers, sun-blocking wings, and laser fire eyes which could incinerate cities at will. Right. It took the god of all gods Zeus to defeat him, and that was hard for him too. When they fought, they caused earthquakes and tsunamis that almost split the earth in two. Despite besting Typhon, he couldn't be killed. He was instead trapped beneath the earth, and sometimes his fierce fits of anger caused fire to spurt from the ground. Volcanic eruptions are said to be the only way Typhon can continue to terrorize humanity. Coming into number 2, we have Prometheus' fate. Oh, Prometheus. Zeus considered Prometheus to be one of his biggest betrayers. Prometheus was a titan who pledged his loyalty to Zeus and was rewarded with the job of creating humans. His brother Epimetheus made animals and gave them all a form of protection, using them all up and leaving humans with none. Prometheus asked Zeus if humans could have fire, and Zeus said, "No, fire is for the gods only." Nonetheless, Prometheus went against Zeus's word and raided the workshops of Hephaestus and Athena on Mount Olympus. He stole fire and gave it to the humans. He also gave them the skill of metalwork. Now Zeus was furious and chained Prometheus to a rock in the Far East and had an eagle peck out his liver. His liver regrew every day, and the eagle pecked it out again and again for years. Okay, so finally, this has to be the scariest ancient Greek story of all of them, because one, it's pretty gross, and there's a whole eye gouging thing that makes me feel physically sick. Also, there's incest. What? That's right, coming into number 1, we have the story of Oedipus. Oedipus was the king of Thebes who had a temper. Oedipus's father Laius was the original king of Thebes. He was warned that his son would kill him, so he had his new baby cast out, much to the dismay of the baby's mother Jocasta. Oedipus was taken in by a different king, Polybus of Corinth, who brought him up with his wife as his own. When he got older, Oedipus was told by an oracle that he would kill his father. Believing that his father was Polybus, Oedipus left Corinth, vowing never to come back because he didn't want to kill his dad. Traveling towards Thebes, he came across Laius, with both not knowing the other's true identity. The pair got into a fight, and Oedipus, as predicted, killed him. When Oedipus got to Thebes, he found it plagued by a nasty sphinx. The sphinx was spinning a riddle, strangling and eating people who didn't get it. Oedipus did guess the riddle right though, leading the sphinx to devour herself. Oedipus was rewarded with the widowed queen of Thebes, his own mother Jocasta, only they both didn't know that. The two actually fell very much in love and had 4 children together. Later, Oedipus learns that his dad was Laius, which leads Jocasta to realize that she's married her own son and committed incest. She then hangs herself, and Oedipus uses 2 pins from her dress to gouge out his own eyes. Classic Greek tragedy. So guys, that was the top 10 scary ancient Greek stories. What did you think to this list? Let me know in the comments section down below. Before we bust out of here though, I just want to read a few comments from one of my most recent videos. Now this was the top 10 cursed songs you shouldn't listen to. Carmen Gaia wrote, "Thanks for showing us these songs, can't wait to definitely not listen to them." Bunny Fuzz wrote, "Where is It's Everyday Bro?" Yeah, I know, right? That is a pretty cursed song. I feel cursed when I listen to it. In fact, let's not even call it a song at this point. Sean Harris reiterated this when they wrote, "It's Everyday Bro should definitely have been on this list. Also, you guys the best. Thanks." KK Slips is Brave wrote, "I'm listening to all of them." Like, don't do that because you'll be cursed, so don't do it. Violet Gamer 8256 wrote, "Rebecca, you're one of my favorite hosts, but I also like your friend Danny. You two are totally awesome. You're totally awesome. Thank you for watching. Hope you like me just like tiny bit more." A spooky comment to end off this video, Arabelle Jade wrote, "I'm being haunted by the I Feel Fantastic song. It won't stop appearing on my watch list and I don't even watch it or anything like it. I started watching this video, but when she said that at number 3, I was very scared. It was I Feel Fantastic." So there we have it. Maybe that song is haunting you, I don't know. Hopefully not. Thank you guys for watching this video. Do leave me a comment letting me know what you think the scariest ancient Greek story was. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate. If you want to connect with me on social media, my link is in the description box down below. For now, do make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay subscribed for more most amazing lists. Bye!